Conversation in the community has happened back in 2006, probably before that. 2006 is when I got an opportunity to go to a seminar or a session about it. I think that we are reading too much into it. I also want to share this. My understanding is that there is another district in Michigan south of us, two districts that just consolidated. They implemented it this school year. Maybe we may need to invite them to one of our meetings just to have some of these questions that I hear you all asking. Maybe they can answer some of that to ease some of our minds. I think this is an opportunity, again, to give our community an opportunity to speak if they are interested or still interested. Because at one point, I believe both districts may have been interested. But I think this gives them an opportunity to voice their opinion, to let us know if we should move forward on this. And I think having this joint meeting, I appreciate the fact that this unification plan and talking about the legislature, I appreciate that being a part of something that's coming up before a total decision is made. But I think we need to hear what our community has to say before we get too deep and too far into it. That's just my opinion.
Superintendent Martin.
Yes, well, one of the things that I want to add, just being on the joint task force, one of the things that we discussed is we really didn't want to get too deep into this type of discussion because we felt that it was something that needs to be discussed by the full board from both districts. At this point, what we're really seeking is just a commitment to have a joint task force meeting for this discussion with the two boards so that we can make a determination on what works best for our community and also hear from the community at large. I think in this case, we may be reading in a lot of innuendos about what could or could not be, but to have this type of discussion ad nauseum or ad length just with our board might not be the most beneficial way, and that was kind of the direction of the task force, wanting us to come together the way we came together at the start of the year so that we can have this discussion with the benefit of both boards and all 14 members as well as community. But just like any other motion that will be brought to the table, it could be voted up, it could be voted down, it could be asked to be amended, several things. So just wanted to maybe clarify something.
Thank you, Superintendent Martin. Vice President Berman.
Thank you, President Bates. I'm now a little bit confused based on what you just said, Superintendent Martin. But I want to say that I appreciate the concerns of my fellow board members. I think this is something that we need to know a lot more before we are ready to make a decision. I don't think this motion is to make that decision. And I don't think we're going to be asked to make a motion in this joint board meeting that will make that decision either. I think we're going to be asked to discuss the issue with an open mind and see whether there's a possibility that doing this could be good for all the kids in both districts. If that's the case, then we can explore it further with our communities. And I want to say that I really appreciate the clarification that Trustee Champagne added there. And I think it's very important that that be a two-way dialogue, something that maybe should have happened more in the past, but that we can certainly change in the future. Furthermore, I like the addition for the purpose of consideration of the consolidation recommendation there. And I might even add at the end, after collaboration and communication task force, I might even add to this motion predicated on the development of a solid, detailed unification plan with specific legislative and initiatives in place to support it. Because none of what was discussed at the task force meeting was about cost cutting per se, although there would be some administrative cost savings in uniting the two districts. All of it was about the possibilities that might be out there that would be good for kids. And I want to just keep that front and center on the table. If there are such possibilities, I think we need to explore them. I think our mean score report this evening shows that something has to change. And I'm willing to look at all the changes that might be on the table. Thank you.
Trustee Fanta.
I don't disagree, Vice President Berman, with your suggestions. I think they're spot on, but I don't think they necessarily have to be in this motion. I would propose redrafting the motion as follows: that the Ypsilanti Board of Education conduct a joint board meeting with Willow Run Community Schools Board of Education on April 16, 2012 at 7 p.m. at the Ypsilanti Township Civic Center for the purpose of a district consolidation discussion. That tells us what the agenda is. Board presidents can get together and tease out some of the things that, as I said, are spot on that you raised. We can raise them in the financial area, we can raise them in the curricular area, we can have tease out questions that we would have for MDE. So that just says we're going to get together and the focus is going to be on district consolidation. Both boards can come with questions, a joint agenda, and the items that we think are predicates to going forward with a motion to put this on the ballot at some subsequent time.
Trustee Champagne, Vice President Berman. Sorry, Trustee Horn, go ahead and make your comment. Okay.
My question is, did the committee come up with this staff report that we have right now? Did it join the
No, I believe the test report, the staff report was provided by Superintendent Bartlett.
Yes, and that was devised by taking the language that was directly from the recommendation of key points from the task force, and we made that as a public document or public information previously clear that we needed. So we took that language and we just put it into what we are accustomed to seeing at our board meeting in terms of facts, and then recommended motion.
Okay, then following up to that, the Little Run Board, I know maybe this week, correct?
Yes, and what we have agreed to do, we send our information to Little Run Superintendent so that they can include it with their board. So if we were to and we took the language that was shared with us from the WISD staff, and that became the language that we put in here. If we were to make an amendment tonight, that's fine. We can in the morning share that with Will Run so that we can be consistent in our approach.
Thank you.
Vice President Berman.
Thank you, President Bates. Would we like to invite the Will Run board members to come forward and comment?
It was not my intent.
Mr. Wild, welcome. Thank you so much. Apologize for putting you on the spot, but appreciate your willingness to indulge us.
It was not my intention to speak this evening. I do agree with the rewrite Mr. Fanta has come up with. I like the phrasing of that a lot better than what the original phrasing was. With Trustee Stevens and I sitting in the back row there have been whispering about that, and we're both in